Hi, this is Vicky at Signot, and it is Sunday morning and time for my tank atomizer cleaning, and I thought I would show you how I do mine. Now, I'm not telling you that it is the correct way. In fact, it's kind of a dangerous way because I disassemble it and you run the risk of destroying the wick that way. But it is quite thorough, fits into my lifestyle, and I'm sure there's other ways and improvements that can be made. And in fact, some of you experienced vapors. If you have anything to add, I really would like you to add comments to the end of this video so that we can maybe get a great method that everybody could be comfortable doing. So here is my e-cig. I just unscrew the battery and I take the tank off. I use a 3.5-inch hemostat, which allows me to go to the sides of the plate, and keep your fingers away from the center there. This thing will bite you if it slips. Grip it nice and tight and pull it out. Sometimes it takes more force than others. Here it is. And invariably I lose the wick. So you take, these are tweezers for splinter removal, and I wish that that magnifying glass wasn't there. I should take it off. And be sure to bend the wick over because you want to be able to grab it under that hat or band that's around it so that you can be sure to grab the whole thing so you have less of a risk of disintegrating. So be careful where you grab. You don't want to hit the coil with these tweezers either. And there it is. And it comes out a little disgusting. I rinse mine. You can burn it. I don't think a lighter is sufficient enough flame, but if you hold it over a burner or something, you can burn it and it will become white. I generally just rinse mine, unless it's really nasty, but I do it often enough where it doesn't get nasty. And don't let the wick go. I set that aside. I take the atomizer, and I'm going to rinse it with water because I want all the e-liquid out of it so nothing can vaporize. I want to do a dry burn to clean the coil and to turn the caked juice that's on the coil into ash, but I don't want it to be creating vapor because it'll take me forever. So I just rinse it out. I blow the water from both sides. Another thing, if you're having a hard draw, there's a hole beneath that coil, and there's some on the sides of that cup down there, and they can get clogged with juice. So if you're having a hard draw problem, you might want to soak this for 10 minutes or so, and then what I would do is I would actually suck on the atomizer with a cup of hot water, and so it would, the water will go where the air would go and clean out those holes. And then you just spit it out and do that over and over again until you get a clearer draw. If you're not having a hard draw problem, then don't do that. Shake it out really well, and then I do the dry burn. I do it slow, just a couple seconds at a time. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, starting to produce a little bit of steam there. Shake out the water, because remember the point is dry burn. On, off, on, off. What I'm looking for is for the coil to start glowing. Sometimes it takes longer than others. It's alright though. If the coil starts glowing on one side really hot, be careful not to keep it activated too long. Some coils don't burn evenly, and it may cause your coil to pop. I am not getting a red glow yet. This really needed a clean. Shake it out just to make sure there's no water in there. Try not to get over anxious. I do. I have popped a coil before. I think there might still be water in there. I'm going to blow it out one more time. Don't tighten that down too tight. You just want it to make contact. That pushes the center contact and the atomizer up, and then different batteries won't make contact, and it'll appear that the atomizer is dead when it's just not making contact with the battery. There we go. We're getting some good burnt stuff. This is old and it smells terrible. This is old liquid that is caked on the coil, and I am getting a glow. It's glowing from the center. I can barely see the coil rings, and I'm just going to keep doing this. I want that to turn white. I'm going to turn this to the camera, and I don't know that you're going to be able to see this. It's on. And I'm just going to continue to do that slowly. Again, if you keep it on too long and it gets too fiery hot, it could pop the coil. And that's not what we want. We just want to bake it. Bake the old juice. It's nice and white, and actually I see kind of a lump on it. That's ash, and it's just caked juice. And when I see that, let it cool a little bit. I take a wooden toothpick and I very carefully, just with the lightest of touch, scrape to get that stuff off. The goal is to have the coil be bare so that liquid can actually touch it. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Alright, I'm going to let it cool for a second. It's nice and ashy. And I'm going to rinse out the ash out of it. You may need to rinse the ash out and do it again. I've seen some coils that were just terrible, and it took 2 or 3 rinses and dry burns to get it to come back. So you set that aside. Now for the wick. It's still in my tweezers, and I just put it back in. And this is never beautifully easy, but try not to hit that band, because it takes it out of round like I did, and it makes it more difficult to insert. Okay, it's in. You want it to be kind of straight down so it doesn't get in the way of when you try and press this back in. I want to position it to where the bottom of that slant is approximately. We'll do the fine adjustment later. And remember, it's easier to push a wig down than to grab it from the top and pick it up. So still a little low. That's about right. Okay, now I put it back in the atomizer and kind of set it kind of where it should be. Some of these bands in here have like a little dent in it, and you won't be able to press the plate back in, so then you just take it back out and rotate. This is what I use to press mine in, and I can't get this off. Just a silly old screwdriver, and I take the bit out but that allows me a good pressing tool. That one went in very well. Sometimes I have to actually put it down on a surface and press. It's that hard, but this one went very well. Then I put my tank back on and I let it sit for a while. I do suck on it, but I think that's more to pass time than actually what effect it may have. You do want it to just allow liquid to get back down to that coil through the wick. And this is where you do the fine adjustment. You just let it get down there, give it some time, and if it's too dry, you take your needle and you open up another channel in the side of that wick. There you have it, good as new.